Lakeview Cemetery sits on the border of East Cleveland. Its most popular statue is the Hazarat angel some call the Weeping Angel. He appears to cry without ceasing.
And count the raindrops falling on you. It's time you knew.
His official title, the Angel of Death Victorious. Made of bronze, he grips a downturned torch, a symbol for a life, extinguished. There was a boy who came from a family of men notorious for being weak, lax, and drunks. The boy's father was a swindler, hustler, and ladies' man. He hired his girlfriend as his housekeeper and brought her home to live with he and his wife. Within 2 years' time, the boy's dad fathered 4 children by both women. Is this the beginning of a tale of another street hustler in East Cleveland? Was East Cleveland always the topic of bad news? We asked a few students at the Freedom School in East Cleveland.
Houses wasn't spray painted, wasn't too much graffiti or anything. But then, I think it looked way better, because it's a lot of restaurants on especially Euclid where you could see that it used to be this or it used to be that, and then they have made a liquor store or something like that. Everything used to be nice. They said East Cleveland was kind of like the suburbs, but then suddenly everything like changed. If I could go back in time, I would say you wouldn't see people sagging. Everybody would wear a belt. Everybody would look professional. It wouldn't be anybody with guns. I don't think it would be a lot of violence. Everybody would be like unity and together.
In the late 1800s, East Cleveland was not known as a city. When John D. Rockefeller, the oil tycoon, purchased his Forest Hill property, East Cleveland was still known as the country. For those of you who don't know, this is the guy Jay-Z named his company Rockefeller Records after. Forest Hill Park, the green space so many East Clevelanders and Cleveland Heights residents enjoy today, was once the summer home of John D. Rockefeller. Even though Rockefeller owned a home on Millionaire's Row, he had this 4-story, 40-room home built to get away and relax with his family. Unfortunately, the home burned to the ground in 1917. A few of the groundskeepers were questioned for possible arson but never charged. John D. Rockefeller is an important figure in the history of East Cleveland because he was America's first billionaire. He was a meticulous bookkeeper and logged every penny he made in his special ledger. He went into business with Henry Flagler and Samuel Andrews. In 1870, they changed the company name to Standard Oil. His business was so valuable because oil was used to light lanterns in the 1800s and help power cars in the 1900s. His business-savvy skills were respected by many but despised by others. Rockefeller created a system known as a monopoly. That means his company bought out other companies that competed with his and created one large company under the Standard Oil Trust in 1882. It kind of tarnished his image. Many who knew him said he had 2 sides to him, the fierce businessman and the philanthropic man who once paid for a black woman's freedom and helped found the all-black female college Spelman in Atlanta. He even contributed to the McGregor Home for the Aging and the East Cleveland Library. Many children in East Cleveland today have no idea who Rockefeller is and his contribution to their city and the world. But they sense they live in a city that was once better than now.
I think it would be like more people together, like not that as much killing unless, I don't know, not as much killing, not as many police killing black people. Like my mom, she told me about it. She said it was nice. It was better than what it was now. Now East Cleveland is just falling apart.
Better. Like better places, better houses. My grandma used to say that it was never as scary as it is now. Of course they had killings, but not as much as we have now. And like most of the places, like the abandoned buildings used to be ran, like the streets used to be so busy. Like you could see a bunch of old company buildings down our street that used to be up, and now they just empty, just on the street.
The residents of East Cleveland are fed up with the blight of the city. the city is in fiscal emergency. The current mayor, Gary Norton, wants the city to merge with Cleveland. Some residents agree a merger should take place, but will a merger help or hurt the city? In 1910 and in 1919, Cleveland wanted East Cleveland to be a part of an annexation. According to the East Cleveland Signal newspaper, the Anti-Annexation League called the annexation a scheme. The article reads, "Annexationists are trying to camouflage their propaganda, stating this is no annexation matter, but a county merger proposition." Residents felt the city could handle its own affairs and enjoy the suburban life as opposed to Cleveland's city life. By the 1930s, the school enrollment plan increased drastically, but there were no residents of color. In 1929, John D. Rockefeller Jr. purchased his dad's Forest Hill property and began turning the land into residential developments. He had planned to build 600 homes, but when the stock market crashed that same year, only 80 homes were built before the Great Depression. In 1938, John D. Rockefeller Jr. donated Forest Hill Park to East Cleveland and Cleveland Heights. By the 1940s, East Cleveland was known for its stellar schools. The community seemed to be very close-knit. The newspaper even made engagement announcements as well as the fireman's dance. Huron Hospital was a thriving 350-bed, fully equipped medical center. By the 1960s, more and more black people flocked to East Cleveland for better schools and community. The East Cleveland Leader and its stories reflected the changing times. The little boy's dad I told you about earlier married a different young girl while he was still married to his wife. Years later, his dad was indicted for raping another young woman. He was a disgrace to the young boy and his family. The boy's church-going mother was a strict disciplinarian. She whipped the boy with the switch if he or his siblings disobeyed. Although he was a slow learner in school, he was really good with numbers. He did take one piece of advice from his father. Instead of going to college, he went to trade school not too far from East Cleveland. In a city with no respectful dad figure, what was a boy child like him to do? Statistics lean toward a life in prison or an early death. Lakeview Cemetery is one of the most beautiful cemeteries in Ohio. It sits on the border of East Cleveland and Cleveland Heights on 285 acres of lush land, known as Cleveland's Outdoor Museum. So many prominent people are buried here. James A. Garfield, the 20th president who was assassinated less than a year into his presidency, has a lavish memorial erected in his honor. This monument is in remembrance of the 172 children and 2 teachers who died in a schoolhouse fire in 1908. Their deaths are the reason we have fire evacuation codes and drills in school to this very day. Civil rights activist, Karamu alumni, and member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, L. Pearl Mitchell, has a plaque erected in her honor at Lakeview Cemetery. Carl Stokes, Cleveland's first black mayor, and his brother Congressman Louis Stokes have final resting places here too. Many children in Cuyahoga County probably have no idea one of the most influential black inventors, Garrett Morgan, is buried in Lakeview Cemetery as well. This is the man who invented the gas mask and the stoplight, among other inventions.
Black history. They don't teach us that at school. They worry about like Christopher Columbus, like Greek mythology, stuff that's not really important.
At Freedom Schools, they go more in depth and deep with it to tell us more about it. Because Freedom Schools it's a literacy reading program, but it's also they teach you about your heritage, and Freedom Schools is not just a summer camp.
Level 2s, yeah, and we next on this list. We got our registration 'cause we do it
We quickly discovered Freedom School is also about helping children build confidence and work.
Everybody breathe in positivity. Breathe out any negativity. I want us to breathe in our dreams. Breathe in our creative dreams. And breathe out all the naysayers. I'm about to read you guys a quote. I want you guys to continue breathing with your eyes closed. As I read you guys, I'm going to read you guys two quotes. The first one is, keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. That's the first one. That's by Walt Whitman. And then the last one I'm going to read to you is to try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud.
We visited Mr. Rich's class. The students engaged in a game to get them thinking about stereotypes.
All right, everyone, have a seat. Do not take the labels off. Don't take the labels off your head. Hey, one mic, fellas, one mic.
So I'm like, am I stupid or am I mentally challenged?
So how did that make you feel when people were treating you?
Bad.
Anybody else?
Me? When I'm at school, people call me class clown. Because I do my work, but then when other people doing their work, I like to play around and make jokes, and then my teacher would get mad, and then she called my mom, and then I had to go with my dad's, and then that's why they call me class clown, because I make jokes too much. But see, my dad do the same thing when he was in school, so it's in my family, so it's hard for me to.
So hold on, because you're saying that your family is stereotyped as the class clowns of your class.
Because if you went to my
Of
family,
your
then
school.
everybody in my family will be making jokes.
So because your family is something, does that mean you have to be it too?
No.
That's true.
I can't answer that question.
No, yes you can.
That's what I ate.
So just because, okay, so say for instance, my,
See, like I'm doing it now, see? People just laughing, see?
say if my family wasn't responsible, didn't take care of their responsibilities, does that mean I can't be responsible?
Yeah.
Why?
I can't
Because,
answer that
I
question.
mean, it runs in your family, so you gonna be like that.
You can't though.
Do we make decisions to do things on our own?
Yes.
We all make decisions, right?
Yes. Yes, if you say no.
So we can't blame our family. Things are hereditary in our family history. That is real, but you have to realize that you make your decisions and you control what you want to do, what you want to be.
The students are allowed to voice how they feel about the community in which they live. We asked those living in East Cleveland if they felt safe.
It's like a 50-50. Safe and scared a little, because you never know what's going to happen. Because people just roll up on people out of nowhere, shoot them.
I do, because I live in an apartment and I know it's like security down there and stuff. But I don't feel safe because somebody can just, when I walk out the door, it's like somebody can just point a gun to my head and kill me or something. Like staying in the car at night. Like I sit in the car. Like if I sit in the car at night, I feel like somebody just gonna do something to me, like take me away or something.
The students are permitted to talk about life circumstances that impact them, like their loved ones who have been
Let me ask this.
incarcerated.
How many people here live in a single parent household where you only have one parent?
I live with my
Or
grandma
no
and my mom.
parents? None of your parents where you live with somebody else?
I live with my mom. I
How
live with
does,
my mom and grandma.
do y'all like that? Do y'all,
That's one parent.
okay, so
No,
explain.
I really
Kim
do
Yana.
not like it.
What don't you like about it?
I just don't like it because my dad not home with me. I
Yeah.
go visit him on days I don't visit him every month, but it's just like every other year. My mom, she just don't feel like it sometimes.
Where's your dad stay?
Hmm?
Where you say you go visit him, so he doesn't stay here?
He live in jail. I mean, he in jail.
Oh, he's in jail.
Yeah, he been there ever since I was born. I mean, so I really don't know my dad like that. But I go visit him sometimes.
I know my dad was in jail too for a long time, so I know how like those visits are. Like, how do you feel when you go into the jail to visit him? Because I know when I was small, I was always wondering why I had to go through all the security and stuff.
And they had to
It's
check you,
embarrassing.
Yeah, all
take your
that.
shoes off, put in the thing.
It's embarrassing to me because he shouldn't be there. I mean, I haven't had my dad since 2003, so since I was born.
I haven't.
He come back home, I mean, but he might not come back home.
So he's in there for like a really long time then.
Yeah, he come back. He supposed to come back home, but he might not.
And my
Hold on. She's not finished talking. Respect what she's saying. So how does your not, okay, so your dad may not be a possibility, your dad may never come home. Like,
It's not like I don't like my dad and I got problems with him. I mean, I love my dad, but he's just not home with me.
right,
He's supposed to be there.
right.
my
right.
uncle, I don't know his real name because nobody ever told me. Nobody. But
He that one uncle that nobody tell you about.
Right.
no,
Like your
yeah,
Uncle Ronnie
it's like
in jail right now.
Wait.
Stupid.
no, like he been in jail for a long time, and I don't even know why. Nobody ever even told me the story. Like I don't even know. I always call him. That's because they call him. I call him Uncle Boona. That's what they call him. So I'm like, if I knew his real name, I probably would call him that because Boona sound.
Bless you.
But like he's been in jail for. Like I only remember one time. I only remember one time I actually like. One time I actually like had a moment with him is when I was a little kid, like him, my cousin Boone, like he was like real bad, and him and my uncle Gizmo, but my uncle Gizmo, he never went to jail. He not with all that bad stuff. He good now, but it was little. He used to be bad. He got education. He went to college and all that. He played basketball. He boxed. He do all that. Yeah. So when I was little, they used to like have the matches on the wall, and they'll tell me that the matches finna fall, and I start running, and sometimes they hit me in my leg or something. But that was my only time ever like seeing him before. But he been in jail like all my life mostly. That other brother, he not bad at all, but he don't live in Cleveland. He live in it starts with an S.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's not Seattle.
San Antonio?
No, it's like that one team.
Is it a state?
It's that one team that the Browns always facing there on white.
Pittsburgh.
It start with he live in Pittsburgh.
You said start with an S.
Oh, I messed up.
You caught us up and
I messed up. Yeah, the Steelers. Yeah, what's they
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. He live in Pittsburgh, and I don't know if he like the Browns or not, our team, but he not bad either. Aaron, I used to go up his house, and his brother just died a week ago. Aaron, not Boone, but he got another brother on his.
What's his name?
His brother?
Yeah, that died a week ago.
Yeah. But he got shot because he was driving his car, and some stupid dude just walked up to him and shot him for no reason. And unfortunately, their mom died too, like 4 years ago. And that was like my favorite auntie because like she always let me do what I want to do. Like I mean, not in a bad way, but like in a kind of, like my dad would be like, you can't have no more candy. Like she would basically sneak me upstairs and just give me the candy. And like it was only like 4 Oreos left, and I was little one time, and my auntie was like nobody could get them, so she basically made me go upstairs and eat them. And like we'd be in the car, and my daddy would be like he had enough sugar for today, and like she'd like sneak it in my mouth. Like she was my favorite auntie. Like I'd go over her house, and I couldn't ride in the street at that time, but I didn't know how to ride a bike. But she let me go on the street, and I was just riding my bike all I would. I was like 5 years old. But no, I was 3. I was 4, 3 or 4. And I just started riding my bike, and on the day she died, I was so salty. I was sick to my stomach. I threw up like a couple times.
We asked some of the students what words they would use to describe East Cleveland.
I think of like, I know it's kind of a childish word, but fun, enjoyable, sometimes violent, sometimes. I mean, it's mostly positive things I think about East Cleveland, but not as much as negative, because I really don't like to worry about it. I like to do good things.
Some words to describe East Cleveland are violent, dirty,
I don't like the abandoned houses that I go past because they don't make me feel safe. Because it makes me feel like somebody just gonna pop out at me and kidnap me, and I ain't gonna be able to see my family again.
Some people, they have to lose their home, and sometimes they just lose their stuff in there. Because one time I was looking in there with my cousin, got a little flashlight. Then I saw somebody's stuff in there. And then I then they didn't have their stuff. They might have scared that somebody stole it or something.
When I look out my window, I see litter, abandoned buildings, stray dogs, sometimes fights, people running red lights, people loud on their porches, shootings. Well, not like directly out my window, but like you could hear it like down the street. Yeah, that's it.
Malika highlighted a problem that she feels needs to change in order for East Cleveland to get better.
I feel like if we all came together, we would be way more better because there wouldn't be a lot of black-on-black crime. Like one year, Freedom Schools did this. They asked us a few questions about, out of all these things, what do you think is the most crime? And of course, we said white-on-black crime. And they said wrong. It's black-on-black crime. And you know, us, we kids, we like, how? And then as we got older, we started to see the things that they was talking about. So I feel like we could, as individuals, be better and get along with each other.
Honesty feels it's up to nurturing adults to help bring about change in East Cleveland.
I look up to my aunt, Christiane Cook, because she always tries to make me a better person. Like, she tries to help me better myself. Like, if I do something wrong, she'll pull me to the side and tell me what I could have done better or what I should have done better. And she tries to help me get ready for the real world. Like, she don't just sugarcoat it. She really, she's very blunt and tells me everything that's, should happen. And she was there for me. Like, when I was 5 years old, I had to leave with my mom because she was doing drugs, and she went crazy, and she was hitting me in my back, and the police had to come to our house, and I had to go to the hospital. And my auntie from there, she took me, and I was living with her. I've been living with her since.
Adults and children's lives impact them significantly.
Who is this? Like, meet him, and da. And this is one dude, Reggie. She was the final one I liked. And he came over, he took me places, he did everything, spent the night a couple days, and he went home. But it was this one day he really made me mad, because me and my mom went out to eat for her birthday. And we came home, we saw his car. We walked in the house, he all laying on the couch chilling, got a plate of food with a blanket on. He was like, what are you doing here? I go, the house was open. Yeah. Like, he thought it was cool. I'll go in the refrigerator, go get my stuff, and he's not even there. Like, he got all my food on his plate. Like, I'm like, okay. Okay, she and then they went upstairs. She went upstairs. I said, I'm gonna be outside. I came back to come get some water. He was like, she crying. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She said, go back outside. I'm like, okay. That's the first time she told me to go back outside. I was just sitting there on the porch, peeking through the window. Nothing that happened. I went back home. I came back. He was gone. He said, you all right? She was like, yeah, I just had to handle my business real quick. I'm like, handle your business? That made me really, suspicious. I'm like, okay. I could not sleep that whole night, but she told me that when I was little, I did not talk that much, because she said that when I was little, she said, when I was a kid, I was over my dad's house. She said that he kept on, he didn't want me over there just because he had, a girl over there that he didn't want me to know. He would get real scared for her to come over because she was crazy. She had brothers. Her brothers in the gang. He had brothers. He would be real scared. And he would drop me off over there in my mom's house. He'll open the door while she sleep and she told me that he put me to sleep, put me in bed, and then he'll leave and he would write a note on the kitchen, on the refrigerator, say I dropped him off because this happened and all that.
Remember the little boy I was telling you about earlier? Well, as he grew older, his father began to teach him some of his tricks. He pounded the pavement, preying on weak people and succoring them out of money. The boy despised his father's wicked ways. He hoped one day he would break the spell of shame that plagued generations of men in his family.
When me and my friend was at the park, so then we took flight, we took jets. It was cool. We like we was at the park, next you know they was fighting because they was gambling, so they was doing all this, and then the man had got mad because wait, what's they do that 7-Eleven thing when you win? So he had did a 7-Eleven, and they said they was doing it for $100, and he only gave him like $50 or $60, and then he was like, where my money at? And then he had said, I'll be right back. So we was still playing, so we was having fun. So he was like, man, he ain't come back, just forget about it, y'all, let's just have some fun. And then the man had came back. Next you know, he came with all these dudes. All you saw was them. They came in a car. They jump out. And next you know, they start doing this. They was like, then they start shooting. and then all that.
That's not funny. Why is that funny?
I mean, like, have you seen in the movies? They be like,
Anybody ask for
But look, this ain't a movie though. This is real life.
So
In a movie, you're not gonna die. In real life, you could
so
die.
they was doing that. So they had came out and they was shooting. So then I was and then I was feeling like I was almost about to throw up because I thought I was about to lose my life from doing this. But then we had took jets, and then we had went home, and then as you know, after that, we at like in the middle of the night when we went like, cause we be outside, you know, in the hood you can stay outside for a long time cause you would be with your friends and they didn't know where you at. So we was still outside. We stayed out front. I'm like, Mom, can we stay outside for more? So we had stayed out to like what 12. We had stayed out to like 12, and then as soon as we was coming in, a drive-by happened. Went down on the street, and then all you heard, then they came out. Dude came out with a pistol, and he started shooting. So then, but he didn't get nobody because we was safe, so he didn't get nobody. And then it's another reason I don't like my neighborhood, because my mom, my mom old boyfriend, when my mom had her old boyfriend, I didn't like him because he used to always beat my mom. He used to always hit my mom, and I didn't like it because my mom had hurt her back one time when they was fighting. Cause I don't know what he did, but I didn't like it. So I had told my dad to go up there, and my dad did something, but he never tell me what he did. So, but he don't mess with me no more.
How did that make? Hold on. How did that make you feel when that was happening to you?
I felt like he was gonna do something to me, but it wasn't gonna happen, cause I know how to defend myself. Cause I would have got something that child's not supposed to have in their hand. It wasn't gonna be no gun or nothing, but it was gonna be something.
Like a knife.
Yeah, it was gonna be a knife that I was gonna use.
Another issue that concerns them is the national issue of tension between the black community and the police.
The only thing that we say, and this is something that is really big today, you'll have a police shooting. And in half an hour, the groups will be there screaming that it was bad, but having no information to know what happened or whether it was a bad shooting or one that was necessary. I don't like using the word a good shoot because there's no good shoot. But we have a right to defend our lives, to go home to our kids, in my case, my grandkids. And they have a right to get us to come home. Now, we can't go past that and abuse people, and we don't want any cop out there that does that. And we will do everything in our power to make darn sure that they're not around us, that they're gone, and we can weed them out. All we ask is that if there is an incident and it might look bad, let the investigation happen so all the information is on the table. And if you look at the one, I think it was North Carolina, where the guy just started running from the police officer and he shot him in the back. And that police officer's in jail and nobody wants him to have a badge. And, you know, we're standing right beside you.
we asked the Freedom School students how they felt about the visit from the East Cleveland Police Department.
I feel like they really didn't talk about what we wanted to know. And that's really upsetting. They just don't care, honestly. They tried to sugarcoat things with us. That's what they tried to do. So you won't have to know what's really going on.
At first, I didn't really want to talk, like hear what they said. But then they start saying how not all police are bad and how they try to help and how they will try to help us and they're trying to make a difference. But when I asked one of the men about it, he wasn't giving me valid reasons. Like I asked him about the Tamir Rice case. He said the police told me that how were they supposed to know the gun was fake? If you went to police and you had to train, you should be able to tell the difference between a real and a fake gun. You should be professionally trained, or if you're not trained, you shouldn't be on watch. It makes my community mad because they don't understand how they're shooting black people, innocent black people who haven't done anything and not going to jail for it, or just getting paid leave. And they give it fake excuses on why they weren't wrong, but we all know the truth.
If like the whole world was East Cleveland, I'll put like a sign at the end of East Cleveland. It'll say no police. Like I wouldn't let police like come into the city.
We asked Lillian how did she feel when the East Cleveland police came to visit.
I thought all police like were bad police, but some I didn't know like some of them were good.
Makai had a different take.
If you're white or black, you can make a difference. If you're a grown-up or a kid, you can make a difference in your community.
Speaking of making a difference, we happened upon Mr. Cliff Williams, who runs the Our Family Home Center on Euclid Avenue.
This is the roughest part of East Cleveland. That's what I was told. And that's where I like to be at. I like to be where the people really need you. If you're in the roughest part of the neighborhood, usually that's the most poorest part. They got buildings around here that should have been torn down 8, 10 years ago. They're all around us. We try to even tell the kids when they come from here to get their snack bags not to go down these streets because no telling what's in these buildings. They're all abandoned. When I first came over here, the drug boys that used to hang around the corner from here, when they found out that we was a hunger center, they protected us for 2 years, I think. For 2 years, we never had no. And then one day the police went around and raided them, sent all the drug boys away. And as soon as they left, we got robbed 7 times. To me, it's not a bad neighborhood. All the people want to be is have somebody care. I done went to all the stores now. We can even talk about the stores, which is primarily ran by foreigners. Now, that hasn't helped me out. Although they are in the black community, they do not give to the black community. I haven't heard nothing. So we're primarily mostly on our own again. And that doesn't bother me. I mean, we're not by ourselves. We have a lot of help, but it's not from the community like I wish it was from. We're open Tuesdays for I call it a goodie bag program. And the children come in from the neighborhood or when they get out of school, and we have boxes lined up with goodies in them, nutritious food. We have hot meals every Thursday from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Anybody can come and eat. We don't no matter who it is. And on Sundays, we have different type churches come here, Forest Hill Church, St. Joseph Church. They come on various Sundays from the hours from 4 to 5. We probably feed about 1,100 people a month out of here. And that's just on the hot meal program. And on the children's program, with the snack program, we could, when school is in, we can average 120 to 140 kids every Tuesday.
Aside from food, Mr. Williams provides free clothing to anyone in the community that is in need.
This here clothing program I consider is my little state of the art. I got some good people that run this program right here. They run it almost like a regular little store. The things that I get from here are mostly brand new clothing, everything. I had an old saying when I first started this: if I can't wear it, the community can't wear it. So I come 12 miles one way, mostly 7 days a week. That lets you know I love it. So they part of our family home center. That is our family home center, my volunteers. Without them, there is no our family home center. There is no me, because I can't do it. But that's the love of having a hunger center. You got to love the people, and they'll love you back.
So we asked the students what they think should be done to make East Cleveland better.
Help. Like some people, like, you know how many poor people you can see on the street? Like, I know they got the Salvation Army and people who come and give us food, but y'all can help get the, help to make the schools better, get them more electronic, technology, more books for them, more desks, tear down these abandoned buildings so we don't have to just keep seeing them.
I would want them not to just tear them down. I would like them, because my mom lived in some of those houses when she was younger. I would like to go in there and see what it was like. But I think they should just try to make the house better instead of trying to tear it down, just kind of rebuild it.
They all wanted to see something done with the abandoned houses.
Abandoned houses, I would fix up the houses. And first of all, if it's going to be an abandoned house, I would have the city come out and I have them cut the grass, basically trim it so it doesn't look like, oh, they just left it there. And I'll try to fix it up to make it look like if someone wanted to buy it, they could get it. Because now it's going to start to be there where a whole bunch of white people going to come. And they going to come and move into where they going to start taking back what they had before.
If I had a chance to design the East Cleveland, I'd make it look like it was a Cedar Point, right there, right outside the window, and it was free, so everybody could get in, they could have some fun. It'd be a free football field. You wouldn't have to pay for equipment. Yeah, that's how I put it. But if I had a chance to, it'd look awesome.
If I could design East Cleveland, I would make my people united. I wouldn't just try to get rid of all the buildings, but I would try to make them better. If people, it's a whole bunch of entrepreneurs, I would try to give them an opportunity to be in those buildings and make their businesses get better.
I would help. I would get some construction brushes and I would help make all the abandoned houses better, and then I'll sell them, and then if somebody buy it, I'll give it to them, and then it will be a free pack coming with it.
It would be, you would have a school, I would call it an Apple school, where they use a lot of technology in it. And I would have a KFC, a Red Lobster, basically everything that East Cleveland used to have and don't have anymore.
I wish for my community nobody dies, and if they get sued, I wish they would still be alive.
My hope is for us to get a unit so we can help black people, because black lives do matter.
We asked them if and how they could take action to bring about change in their community.
I could persuade my parents to vote. Instead of having to do it with my girls group, I can just take a couple of my sisters and have adult supervision. We could clean up around. We could try to, we can't have our own protest, but we could try to like get people together, like to sign a petition or something to get things better.
Unity is extremely important because I feel it could really be powerful with African Americans because if we all created this idea together and did something together, it would be way better because money makes the world go round. They always say. If we spent our money and created a little Italy, or not a little Italy, but like a little Africa or Black Wall Street, then it would be way more effective. But see, what they did is basically they created this community, and basically the community was doing good. And then some Caucasians said, well, they taking all of this, it's not supposed to be like this, and basically they bombed the place, and basically a lot of people died from that. Well, only thing they wasn't hurting anybody. They was using their own money. It's not like they was using Caucasians' money. And I feel like if we did that, we'd be so much better as a community.
Yeah, I think I can. But I don't think I'm old enough to. I think I'll have to have somebody help me. Like Mr. Rich said, you can't start anything by yourself. You gotta keep on pushing with other people. So I think I could, like, I don't know, like to have somebody fix the roads for, like, you know, like build the houses back up, but I don't know.
Honesty had a message specifically for the mayor.
My name is Honesty Cook, and if you ever need my help, you could just try to get in touch with me. I can help you clean up the trash. I can help you make a plan to get our community better, safer, and nicer.
Mostly all that visit the Angel of Death victorious focus on the face and its weeping eyes. But few ever walk around to the back to marvel at the span of the angel's mighty wings. If all of these children made a difference in death, why can't we in life? By the way, the boy I was telling you about with the lawless hustler for a dad, who according to statistics should not have made much of his life, well, he took the tales of the good and bad lessons in life and decided to become someone great. His name was John D. Rockefeller.
Say someone classifies you as weird or stupid or dumb. After a long time of being classified as that, will you like start to act like that just because of what they call you, or will you?
You can. Think about what Trayvon said. Everyone was treating him like he was a bully, right? So they was like, oh, I'm cool, I don't want nothing to do with you, I'm cool, you're right, I'm scared, I don't want nothing to do with you. And he said it made him feel like he wanted to do something bad, like debo somebody or take their stuff from him. Just because of how we were treating him though. So people say that words are powerful, right? So if every day y'all walked in, I was like, what's up, stupid? Every single day you walked in, right? Every single day. At first, you were like, okay, whatever. Then after a while, like, you would get upset that I'm doing that. Then after a while, you would start thinking that you're stupid and not wanting to do things or read in front of people or say things. If I said that to you every single day or every single time I see you, you'll start to believe it. But it also works in a different way too. And that's why we're so focused on language here, because it works in the opposite way too. If I see you every day and I say, man, you're great, you can do something great with your life, you're gonna start to believe that. And because you believe it, you're gonna start doing actions that make you great.
How you build your barriers. It's on the right we come. Go. Come. The more you take my legs away. The faster I run. You can deny me. No. You can decide to turn your face Look up in the eyes and say, you gotta do it anyway. Say what? You gotta do it anyway. Say what? You gotta do it anyway. You gotta do it anyway. Oh no.